Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. Tom Grisafi here, coming alive back home. Feels good to be home, sitting in the setup. Got everything going here. Um, Advanced Trading ATI is our sponsor here to the show. Well, we got an action-packed show, and I don't think you're going to like how it starts. My call today's show, poverty beans. Soybeans were just down 20 cents a few minutes ago. That's after yesterday's down 18 on the USDA. The USDA said the American farmer is awesome at growing soybeans. Matter of fact, they did have some prevent plant corn, but that actually forced a few more acres over to soybeans the way it looks. Let's go to LaSalle Street and check on the markets here. They've moved a lot since overnight. Deese corn down 3. Nove soybeans down 15. That had just traded a fresh low. Let me tell you how low this went. Nove soybeans went down to 966 and a quarter. Sep soybeans touched, they kissed 950. They went to 950 and 3/4 in Sep soybeans. I guess my question to you, and I'm asking you a question as we get people piled into the show, what are cash beans for harvest in your area? Little call to action there. What are cash beans in your area? And I'll ask that again here in a few minutes. All right, moving on. We have meal down, oil down, wheat. Wheat was doing a lot better last night, but it's since rolled over. Sep wheat down 6, Casey down 2, hard red spring down 1.5. Live cattle up a little bit in the August, and then the feeders in the August are down a little bit. My co-host Brady Huck, he's going to give us an update here in a little bit live from the field. Let's take it to Wall Street, where we look at gold in a little quieter day over there as we look at the gold markets. Let's see here. Gold up $6, seeing a little price action. Silver down 26 cents. Let's talk about interest rates. 2-year, 5-year, 10-year, 30-year. All the bond markets up. That means interest rates are going back down. A lot of volatility on our next one. Crude oil down 90 cents. $79 crude. We kissed $80 on news of what's disruptions overseas. Natural gas up 21. I was surprised natural gas spent much time below 2,000, but it did. Okay, stock market. Big news over here. Dow Jones up 100. NASDAQ up 250. E-mini S&P up 42. Talking Bitcoin. Bitcoin up 4 or 500. Dr. Copper down. That's what we got so far for a start. It's definitely not pretty here what's going on, but we'll bring him in to talk about it. Let's talk with Brady Huck as we get into a few headlines. Brady Huck, live from the field. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay this morning, Tommy G. I woke up.
You sound good.
Yeah.
You woke up. Speaking of waking up, I had a friend from high school who died yesterday. So you think it's funny. Yeah, he died right in his sleep. So yeah, that always makes a big down day in grains. Like, well, could be worse. You could be on the other side of the tulips. Well, you are on the right side of the tulips, my friend. And we have news. It's good to be back in the home in the driver's seat here. Let's talk about I didn't watch it yet because I was busy, but I heard that you and Connor did a wonderful job on the live stream. I had it lightly on my phone on mute, and then my phone started to ring and you got kicked off. But I did need to grab the line yesterday and work. But looks like you had a great crowd. Thanks everyone for watching yesterday. If you missed it, catch the replay. And it looks like a lot of people did catch that replay. A lot of views. Appreciate it. Click like and subscribe to ATI and ATI Pro Media on the YouTube channel. All right, ring that bell. Cowboy, talk to us about some cowboy stuff out there. Live cattle and feeder cattle were down yesterday, correct?
Yeah, it's still kind of been ugly, ugly price action on the feeders and the fat cattle. Had, bounce back Friday, but Monday, lower close. Can't see what they're doing exactly right now, but it's
I can tell you, yeah.
We'd love to see them run up and recover. You when you have a flush down, a $20 flush down, you want to see a $5, $6, $7 claw back on those markets. And until we see that, it's hard to be real optimistic about the price action. A lot of concerns about the consumer and, the pocketbook, how aggressive they'll be buying beef. And I think, any cowboy, I'm a cowboy myself, Tommy. I love the cattle business. I'm biased to be bullish beef because I want to eat beef. I love beef. It's a great product. But I got to take my cowboy hat off sometimes and remember the consumer's checkbook and think about that aspect. When they walk by a packet of brisket, 4-pound packet of brisket that costs $60, $65, if they can actually afford it or not, when everything else in their life has increased in value, all their household inputs are increasing, and they're going to have to make some choices at the end of the day at some point. I think this interest rate thing might be the best thing to the Cowboy if it helps loosen up and free up some cash from the consumer end. But until that changes, I got some big concerns about if we can take out record highs that we printed here this summer, Tommy.
Yeah, that's interesting. And if you are a consumer and you're stacking up debt, you're doing it on a credit card. So interest rates going down a quarter, a half, a full point. If you stacked up debt the old school way on a credit card, these rate cuts aren't for you. These are for big boys borrowing millions, hundreds of millions, billions. I find it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But we
Well,
had a big rain last night in Dodge, so that's the
oh,
bright spot here. We had 2-inch rain in Dodge City, Kansas. What do we got there? You got some rain gauges?
yeah. Ring the bell, kids. What you need to do is give us a call. 1-855-737-FARM, 1-855-737-FARM, or emails info@ATI Pro Media. We'll send you 2 rain gauges. I found 2 cases of rain gauges. These got to go. If you need a rain, or you ever want a rain, or if you ever wanted a rain gauge, free rain gauges today, and probably tomorrow, and probably the next day till they're all gone. But send us an email. That's probably the easiest way. info@ATI Pro Media, and say, hey, Tommy, can you send me a couple rain gauges, and we'll gladly do that. All right, markets real quick. Let's get back to grains here. We had a couple headlines. Exporters sell some soybeans to China. That's nice. And we should see a lot of these as we come into OND, October, November, December, as the commercial brokers say. Look for a big lineup. I'll be interested to see where these beans go out of. Are they going out of the PNW, or are they going out of the Gulf? With that, Mexico bought some corn, and we like that. That makes sense. I mean, wow, corn down 4 or 5 cents right on that report, right during that report, record yields. Now the acres were down, and that was interesting how the carryout went down, but a little bit of business doesn't surprise me at all. I didn't look, running around getting ready back in work. We had CONAB numbers. I didn't really take a deep dive into them, and we'll probably talk about that on premium today. Not quite affecting the market in the way that, it's not going to make a big move. A client called me today. He said, I can't believe soybeans are going down this much. And I said, well, they are. I mean, what you can believe and what they're doing have nothing to do with risk management, right? I can't believe my friend from high school died yesterday, but he's dead. So with that, when we started the show, we asked you, call to action, what are fall soybeans in your area? We'd like to know. Questions, comments, please. Drop us a comment. If you subscribe to the channel, you can do that. If you miss this and you're watching it later, drop it in the comments down below on this YouTube, or call us at 1-855-737-FARM, or emails info@ATI Pro Media. I think sometimes it helps to actually see what's going on. And I remember calling a client about 3 weeks ago, and I said, hey, do you have anything forward sold on corn or beans? He goes, no, I'm not selling anything. It's below my cost of production. And I realized from that moment, I didn't have a client. I had someone who thinks they're a client, someone who thinks that we help them when markets are good, and when markets go to not so good, that we have no role, right? And that's not what we do. So anyway, great guy, but definitely not a client. And I sure as heck didn't help him hedge. And with that attitude, that I am not going to do any. I know he's lying, because he has a big operating note, and he doesn't have storage. So not only was he fibbing.
Yeah.
You have 3 little kids. You ever see him do that?
Oh gosh, we're entering that phase of life right now, Tommy, where they're getting a little sneaky, and it's starting to concern me a little bit how sneaky they can be.
Yeah, but your kid's idea of fibbing's getting in the Oreos, having a milk mustache, and lying about it. This farmer's making $1 million fib, so little difference, but fibbing's fibbing. If you lie about the little things, you're going to lie about the big things. With that, not the board that people wanted today, but the outside markets on fire. Seeing quite a divergence here on outside markets versus what we're doing in grains. Very interesting what cash cattle did last week with the cash board going down, that big rally on Friday. I was told by my experts in the cattle industry, sell everything you can, palms out, be a hedger, be an LRP buyer, get protected. Now, the stock market's almost higher than where it started from that debacle. So that whole thing with the yen trade and all that's game over. With that, let's get into questions or comments, and then we're going to get out of here. Our friend Connor has a client in the office. Brother Joe lost power, and I said, well, heck, I'll just go solo. And you're like, no, let's do some cowboy stuff. Question number one, Adam, 928 Central Illinois local elevator. He's probably sitting in Connor's office right there. Let's
Yeah.
bring in Mr. Luke. Luke, welcome to the show. Here's what Mr. Luke has. New crop ADM, Kershaw, 1008, Cargill in Cleveland, North Carolina, 858 new crop beans. June, July of 22, I remember seeing $17 beans on the board for a day. And in the basis, we are 10 below that area. Do not take off your shoes doing math like that, Mr. Luke. Those are some scary numbers. One more. Luke said, supportive cotton numbers yesterday down today like the rest of ag. Yeah, oftentimes, great point, Luke, and I'll let Brady give a little color on this, but we get these numbers at 11 o'clock. And people are watching our live stream. They're watching the numbers. They're watching all types of stuff. And then you go home. Like I drove home last night from Nashville, and I talked to a lot of friends, family, clients, and you really get thinking about it. And you're like, 183 yield in corn and that yield in beans. There's nothing. I was shocked corn did as well as it did. So real quick comment, and I'll let you talk.
Yeah.
Over last week, we had funds covered 50,000 and corn made fresh 4-year lows. I think we'll see again this week, funds covered more, and then maybe, say we're right here and we close at 398 corn. So funds are probably covered of the 300,000 they're short. I bet you they've covered 100, and corn's 8-10 cents off the low. I think in the farmer's mind, they thought if the funds covered 300,000, we'd be up $1. That is not happening, Mr. Huck. The stage is yours.
Yeah. You get to boom or bust type marketing, and these cycles, it's boom ag markets and bust ag markets, and we seem to be rolling over into that bust ag market where a rising tide lifts all boats, and in this case the tide's going out. And I don't care that cotton had strong numbers. There's bigger things going on in the global picture that may be pulling that thing down and causing managed money to flight to safety, put their money somewhere where they feel it's safe. And it's hard to find a safe place for your money right now. It really seems that paying your bills might be the safest place for your money, and that's where a lot of the money's going, it feels like. But
yeah, and well, the United States government, do you not believe they're a safe place to give them your money and make 5%? I mean, that is really a great option. I know several guys who trade money for CTAs, and I asked them, how you doing on the year? And they're like, oh, I'm up 4%. I said, what's going to happen if you end up 4% and you took all that risk and all those trades and all those fees, and someone could just put their money in a CD?
yeah,
How are you going to compete against that? How are you going to compete if the S&P's up 12, 15, 20% again this year and you didn't? Hey, looking over to my right, seeing some big news. That's interesting. It's not really going to place hurt American farmer, but Starbucks replaces CEO with Chipotle's CEO. And then on the stock, Chipotle was down 13% and Starbucks stock was up like 28%. And I was wondering, because I had Bloomberg on lightly over here to my right, and I said, what the heck is going on that Starbucks is up 22%, Chipotle's down 13%? A CEO switch. So, well, I guess leadership at the top matters. What do you think of that comment, Brady?
Oh, the corporate shuffle. That's interesting to me. But yeah, lunch CEO versus a breakfast CEO, maybe.
I don't know, but they're selling biggest mistake ever in history, not getting long. Starbucks, they're selling legal stimulants, and we weren't long. What the heck's wrong with us? All right, but you know what goes in a lot of every Starbucks drink is corn syrup. So they're also selling sugar. They are huge in the sugar business. I'll propose something, and there's no way to answer it. I wonder how many calories of sugar Starbucks sells a year. So Starbucks has so many sugary sweet drinks with just loaded with sugar. If they put the calories on those, I don't think you'd be waiting in that 12-car line to get that type of stuff. But whatever. I hate drive-thrus. But was it you, Brady, who sent something, or did I see it on the internet? The picture of the very people who hate gas prices waiting a 12-car long thing to get to pay $5 for a Starbucks. Did you send that, or I see that on the internet?
I don't know that was me, but it might have been one of the boys below there.
It's classic. I might have just seen it on the interweb. Well, with that, hey, I was driving home from Nashville, and I put on the live stream of Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and it didn't work at first, and so I got off it, and then I put it on again, and I didn't really learn anything, and I've heard a lot of the same rhetoric and stuff, so I kind of turned it off. But I found it fascinating how media's changed, and they had a lot of people on. People like me came on, got off, came on, got off. I kind of just wanted to get off and listen to an iPod and learn something new. So I didn't really feel like I was going to learn anything groundbreaking from either of them. But they live streamed for 3 hours. It was a conversation like a Joe Rogan type podcast live, and I found that interesting. Before we get off the show, we got to add to the stage. This is a monthly soybean chart, and we had talked about a lot of these areas. Obviously, the green line now. This be the I guess it wouldn't be 100-day if we're not on a daily, right? So looking at monthly averages, this is the 100 and the 200, well below that on a monthly average standpoint. We've now touched the top end of where we were all 2020, 2019, we're below 2018's levels, below 2016's levels, and going back to when times started to get really tough back in 14. So here we are in 2024. If you didn't know that, welcome to the show. Welcome back to Earth. It is August 13, 2024, and we are trading the same doggone prices we were in August and September of 2014. Now, question all you good folks out there watching, what was your cost of production in 2014? If you could get that to me, I'd be really interested to see what it cost you to produce a soybean back in 2014, 2015. If you have that, that one you're going to have to mail into us or give us a call or something. But go back, all you spreadsheet people, and I know you've had these spreadsheets for a long time, say, I think about my cost production in 2014 was this. And then if you're really smart, I want to know what the national average was. So, it was the national average 46 bushel beans, but because the national averages are going up, Brady, correct?
Yeah. We're trend yields going up, producing more bushels. You guys are good at your jobs. You guys are the best farmers in the world. And every year we act like we're surprised when we raise a better crop than we did the year ago. You, your neighbor, your cousin down the road, the guy you don't know in Ohio, Indiana, everybody's job is to produce as many bushels as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, buddy, we're back in the saddle. Going to crank out a couple premium contents. Going to find out about Conab. Maybe Connor could jump on. I know I got to catch up with Don Wick. I missed him on Saturday. I was traveling. Going to get off this show and crank up the premium for our premium subscribers. If you're interested in premium, go ahead and give it a look. Info at ATI Pro Media. But you can go to www.ATI Pro Media. It's $30 a month, $1 a day. Getting ready to crank out some stuff right now. I think it'd be interesting to do a deep dive also with a crop insurance agent here and just talk about what we're looking at when it comes to crop insurance and these markets, my friend, because we are officially in that level. Any other closing comments? I will let you go full stage. Brady Huck full stage as I get ready to close the show. B Huck live from the field. How are your crops? How was harvest out in KC, B Huck?
Yeah, well, we just had a great rain event here in Dodge. That took out my internet here this morning, so I got to be mobile here today to help Tommy out with the live stream. But yeah, it's been a good year in Southwest Kansas, particularly Northwest Kansas, North Central Kansas, a little tougher situation. South Central Kansas, even average to tough situation. You go east into Eastern Kansas and Missouri, and mixed results there, but some favorable rains here late. It's far from a disaster in a lot of areas, but there are some areas that have had problems, and feel for those people, because the last thing you want to be is not having the bushels in a year where you have the price falling apart on you. That's a terrible situation to have. But if you have the bushels, that's the best thing you got going for you right now. And we can't look back at the markets. We can always look forward. Don't box yourself into a corner going forward. And position for the uncertainty that lies ahead. Lots going to change going forward the next 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, a year. I mean, we see how much it's changed over the last 4 or 5 months. What's going to happen over the next month, weeks, and time frame here? Lots going on.
B Huck. I couldn't have said that any better. And matter of fact, I've never closed that well. B Huck, Dodge City, Kansas, talking cowboy stuff, giving a pep talk to all the listeners, going for about 225 live streamers. B Huck saying we can only move forward. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
See you guys.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.